right, everybody. My name is Brandon Kitchens. I'll be hosting the Telesales panel. Definitely something that I'm very passionate about, the telesales. I know for me it came at a time in my life where I needed it to make it happen, to be able to protect my family a little bit more and also be able to protect other families at that time. So we've got some guys, some rock stars here that's been doing telesales as well. For me, before we get into it, what I really love about the telesales opportunity is the fact that now, we have the ability to help so many more agents now. I remember when I first started and when I was first recruiting, and I would recruit someone and they would ask, could they do it over the phone and things like that. And we couldn't help them at that time, because it was all in the home. We wasn't doing it that way. But now, with the telesales opportunity, we have the opportunity to help many more agents, be able to put their families in a better position and to make sure that more families get the protection that they need. I have an agent now on my team out of Atlanta, Georgia, and he just started this past Thursday with his first time in the field. He's on diabetes 4 times a week, three times a week, so he can't physically run in the field. But now to be able to give him the opportunity to protect his family, on a deeper level, because this past weekend he was able to help 7 families over the phone. It's amazing, right? The opportunity. So definitely excited about having a chance to speak with these guys here. First, we'll start off. If you guys real quick would like to introduce yourself, how long you been with Family First Life?
Yeah, guys, my name is Samuel Hankey, and I've been with Family First Life now for a little over about a year.
Oh.
Okay. My name is JP. I've been with Family First Life for 2.5, 3 years.
My name is Tristan Bennett. Been with Family First Life next week, 3 months.
Marcus McCall. I've been here 11 months next week, I'm saying.
Okay. All right. And anyone in here, just by a show of hands, anyone in here doing telesales at this time? Okay, 1, 2. We have some hands in here. All right. So we're definitely here to help you guys. And now, which out of you guys, if you don't mind going back through, so we have a couple different styles. We have the one call close. We have, calling to book appointments, and then we have the live transfers. So which route are you going now?
I'm mainly outbounding internet leads, trying to one-call close. If I can't close them on the spot, then I will book an appointment with them.
Okay, and for you, Tristan?
Data leads as well, just internet leads. Haven't really dived into live transfers, but going to look into it.
Okay.
Nice. I've been doing all live transfers since September of last year.
Yeah, all 3.
All 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so since we'll start here with you, Sam. So you're doing all 3. What would you say is what has been the most successful way for you so far?
Yeah, so I just tried a little bit of everything because everything worked a little bit, and then I would run into places where in my business, if I was just booking appointments, I'd get, my no-show rate would fluctuate. So what I noticed what helped a lot was being open to doing one-call closing, but not having to die on that hill, and being able to book as a secondary as well as supplement with live transfers in between.
Okay. And would you say that your success level has been a little well in the beginning? Was it tough in the beginning, or was it easy? Transitioning from the field to the phone.
So, to be honest, with a lot of the training at first, I kind of had to get through the learning curve, and the learning curve on the phone is kind of like when you're brand new in the field. You're just trying to figure out, because everything that is great in the home and that's important in the home counts double on the phone. So when it comes to increasing your credibility and reducing the sales pressure, that's doubly important over the phone. And I felt like I had to learn how to empower the client while also learning how to keep control during the presentation. So some of the struggles I ran into in the beginning was making the client feel comfortable with being able to do business with me over the phone. And once I figured out kind of how to do that, it was really just simple in being able to keep in control of my emotion as well as my tone over the phone. So I would make sure that they had my license, my ID, as well as just being comfortable and making sure I knew their strong reason why they're looking for insurance. So one of the things I would focus on is I wouldn't get into any quotes, any kind of value or any programs until I knew what problem they were having. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm assuming, most families send in these requests because they either had a little bit of life insurance and it wasn't enough, or they didn't have any and they just want to make sure they had something in place. So if they passed away, either their funeral expenses are taken care of, or make sure there's no cost, pay off some debt, or leave a gift. What was most important to you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones? And that helped me a lot, was focusing on their why.
Okay, focusing on that why to decrease the sales pressure.
Correct.
Okay, all right. And this is a question that a lot of people, have for me a lot of times is the budget for telesales. For you, did you see your budget increase, decrease, or stay the same when it came to your lead flow?
It increased a little bit. So what I actually really noticed, what I tried to do is, it depends on the lead type. Like live transfers, my budget area ended up being like monthly premium between $80 to $100 a month. And then typically what I always try to do with all my clients over the phone is, if they're not sure which option they can afford or what they want to go for, if they see more value in the higher option, but they know they can afford the lower option, my job is to talk them down. My job is just to say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, let's just start with the smallest option, see if you can qualify, and then moving forward, if you get approved, you guys have 30 days to increase it if you want to.
Okay. And last question for you, Sam, because I have the privilege to watch you work a lot of times throughout the week, because you are on my dial Zoom a lot of the times. And could you speak about the presence that has played into your development of doing the telesales, being on an actual Zoom day in and day out dialing?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because when you're in the field, you can call your manager and they can help you. But what's really crazy about the Zoom dials, especially when you're doing telesales, is you can actually get live coaching through your whole presentation. So if you're running into an objection, in person it's kind of awkward to say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I understand you need to think about it, but really quick, let me just call my manager and see what he thinks. It's a little bit awkward to do that, but when you're on the Zoom or when you're doing a phone presentation or anything like that, I mean, I don't have the words to really describe all the value that I'm able to pull out of being on a Zoom dial, because Brandon's a Hall of Fame producer. If I run into something or a client says something that they're just trying to challenge me on, Brandon's there to help. I can get help from my manager, from people that are working on there. So it's been great, because you get a lot of value out of working with people that are better than you. So
Yeah. So there's been times when just being on the Zoom has helped you overcome certain things to get the family protected.
Yes.
When if you were not on the Zoom, it probably would have not happened, right?
yes.
Okay. So thank you for sharing that with us, Sam.
That was good, Sam.
Yeah. All right. So JP, I know you're doing the live transfers.
Yes, sir.
And before we can kind of get into it, I know, again, one of the big keys to your success is that you never stop searching for information. In terms of reaching out to people and getting all the information that you need to do your process properly. Can you talk about the importance of that and how that's led you to success?
Yes, sir. So shout out to my buddy Jack Yu, because I copied his structure in his sales to help me close. So I've been with FFL for going on 3 years now, so I've been selling for a cool minute, but I never sold over the phone until last year. So I'm selling for the first few months, and I'm having a little bit of struggle. Like the first 2-3 months, I'm not really closing, but I know how to close because we've all sold a policy in the home. We know how it goes. But the transition was a little bit different. So I went to Jack's office, and Jack was listening to me pitch over the phone, try and sell over the phone. And he said, hey, JP, do you mind if I give you some advice? I said, whoa, hold on. Let me write it down so that way I could, share it with other agents. And the little tweaks that he made, he didn't change what I said. He just gave me structure, and I just started selling a lot better thanks to Jack. So I appreciate that.
So I know you and I, we spoke multiple times,
Yes, sir.
about this process, the telesales
100%.
process. Let's talk about setting up the proper structure, because I know for myself, when I first started doing this, I tried telesales about a year and a half, 2 years ago when COVID was at its height. And I tell people all the time, if you were to ask me 8, 9 months ago about telesales, I would have told you it don't work.
It's rough.
Don't try it, And that was because I originally tried it. The first way I tried it, I didn't have any type of guidance, anybody to reach out to, so I was just trying to do an in-home presentation over the phone, and in reality, that's why it didn't work. And speaking with you about that, JP, talk about the structure, the proper structure,
Okay.
Over the phone.
Okay, cool. So for a live transfer, we're getting calls that are coming in. For a lot of you newer agents, you're going to be dialing out to set appointments, so it's a little bit different. You're going to have to change the way that you're trying to sell your policy over the phone. Everything has to be really short, really crisp. The biggest thing that I've learned how to do is build credibility quickly. So what I did was I hired a graphic designer, actually Sam's sister, and she put together a great little, like a little sheet with my picture, my licenses on it, everything's on it. I send it to my clients. I have them look at it before I even do anything. So like Brandon, we can actually role play. So Brandon, he's calling in. Hey Brandon, I'm the insurance underwriter assigned to you to get you qualified for coverage today. Number one, I'm going to shop around, make sure I find you the most affordable coverage. Number two, I'm going to make sure you understand how your policy works. And then number three, we're going to put in a request for coverage today to see if you get approved. Now, the state of Arizona, they require me to send my state license to you via email. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and take a peek before we get started. I say that before I do anything, and it helped me sell like crazy. I wasn't doing that before, so little things I learned after, trial and error.
Oh, man, I mean, that's great information, because it's all about, getting them very comfortable, early in the process. And I remember, when I was in the field, I would be in someone's house, like Sean said, for almost an hour for them to tell me no. And that's hard. But what you want to do is try to get that out of the way very soon, very early in the appointment, and that's why you're doing that. So when you, for the first time that you bombed it, like what did it? How did you overcome that? Because I know you didn't just hit it out of the gates.
Oh no, I struggled for the first few months, and like I said, I've been with FFL for quite a while. I think the thing that's kind of helped me in the business is that I remained a student. I never thought I was too good to learn. I still show up to these meetings and I'm taking notes from different top producers, and I've been here 3 years. So that's kind of helped me. But a good thing that I can say for newer agents, if you're wanting to do live transfers, you need to make sure your skills are sharp from the beginning, because it's more costly. I'm spending $80 to $100 per call. I have to be on point. If I'm not on point, I'm losing money. So honestly, what I think brand new agents, they should start out in the field. Get sharp in the field first, and then if you want to incorporate Zoom calls, live transfers, go ahead and do that. But the biggest thing is to do it face-to-face first before you do this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that as well, unless you just have some physical abilities and things that hinders
None
that,
of us do.
right? But no, thank you for that, JP.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tristan. So for you, Tristan, my question would be, what are some key phrases and things that and languages that you're using to make the clients comfortable over the phone?
Absolutely. So word tracks are very important. So I don't necessarily say I'm an insurance agent. I say I'm the field underwriter. I'm here to get you medically qualified. So from the get-go, they know that we're going to have some personal info, things like that, to be able to first identify you, second to qualify you. I don't work for the insurance company. I work for you. So the field underwriter helps a lot. Word tracks, being able to pull the personal info over the phone. Big thing is building credibility first and foremost. Sending the state license over. Video I saw the other day where you said, I text him a quick text, hey, this is Brandon, right before I call. That's genius. And I used to do that right before I call. I'm sending a picture of my state license I'm working in, and also my name, everything like that. So when I do call, it says maybe Tristan Bennett or maybe something else. I mean, it works. Word tracks to get banking and stuff. All right, so you can look up routing numbers online. Okay, so What these companies do is they're financial institutions, so they have contracts with all the banks. They're going to run your routing and your checking account number to make sure the account's in your name, no fraud's going on. So word tracks are very important when it comes to telesales.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree, when it comes to the word tracks, right, to make them comfortable. So now for you, are you doing this like very early in the appointment, or is it something where you're just kind of letting the appointment build to those things?
So you condition them like at the beginning. So you go in with, I'm the field underwriter. We're going to have to verify some information. I'm going to be able to qualify you for the best rates. Work with several different carriers. So yeah, you kind of let them know that they're going to be giving you information, and if they're not going to give you any information at all, then to stop it early, basically.
Okay. And are you doing the one call closes with them, or are you booking appointments to get them back on the phone?
I always go into the mindset with one call close, but when it comes to booking appointments, I'll never not like call them back a couple times. Some of my best clients have been 3-4 phone calls. Deep. It's always attempted to be a one call close, but it doesn't always pan out.
Okay. All right. And where you, let's talk about real quick persistency. I know that's one big thing that when it comes to the telesale, at first there was a thing about, the persistency wasn't good, with the telesales. How does your persistency look?
So I'd say 20% of the business falls off. It doesn't matter how good of an agent you are. You need to account for that while you're selling. So expect 25%, 20 to 25% to fall off. Persistency-wise, I have had chargebacks, but if you do enough numbers, they don't really bother you.
Right.
You do good by the client. You never put them in a bad position. Always do better than where you found them at.
Yeah,
and I feel like gotta let it work out.
Yeah, right. Just leave them in a better position than when you found them. So persistency for you has been pretty much about the same.
Yeah, 20 to 25% falls off the books, and that's no matter how good you are.
Yeah, I know for me it's been almost the same. I would say, the persistency has been a little better for me. And a lot of it for me, I don't know if you guys would agree, but over the phone, it's very easy for them to hang up on you. Okay, right? If they don't like what's going on, they can just hang up on you. But one thing that I'm finding over the phone is the fact that they'll sit there and go through that entire appointment with you over the phone. Typically, they're a little bit more higher intent, right, in terms of actually getting this taken care of. So the persistency for me has been pretty good. Would any of y'all?
Yeah, I can a good way to help with your persistency as well. When we go in the home, remember we're building that rapport with our client. If you could build that rapport at the end of your appointment when you're, getting all the beneficiary information, talking about what they like. I don't necessarily recommend that you have to do this, but I do this with a lot of the clients that I sell $100 or more a month. I find out what they like. I say, hey, my manager, they give me a bunch of these Starbucks gift cards for $15. You mind if I send you one? And then I send them that, and I give them 3 of my business cards, and that helps keep keep my policies on the books. So saying a little thank you card, stuff like that, because you're not seeing them face to face. Like I said, you don't have to do it all the time, but sometimes it does help. So.
Oh, that's good, Sam.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have kind of encountered this either, but I just feel like there's certain carriers you don't write over the phone. Like I don't write Prosperity over the phone because there's no telesignature option. So, like for me, I actually am going back out in the field trying to do hybrid just because I need to write with some of the carriers too.
Okay.
So I think like the biggest mistake I made, and this is just for me, like I was really good in the in-home, and I just completely switched over the phone. And like this transition, once I got through the learning curve, I was pretty successful with it. But realistically, when you're doing telesales, it's going to be, you can run 6 days a week, and it's going to be 8-10 hours a day on the phone or on the Zoom taking calls. And so for me, kind of what I noticed and mistake I had, I became more transactional in the sale, and I focused less on the client just because it was getting mundane being on the phone 12 hours a day. So what I did is I think I'm going to move forward with like a hybrid approach and going back in the home just to keep it refreshed and keep my spirit alive, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
And I've even done the same thing. I've been back in the field, for the last couple of weeks. And again, just to kind of break it up, because you do kind of get a little complacent, with sitting down, all day on the phone. But either way it works,
yes.
right? It works.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sam. All right, Tristan, best for last, 100 families in a month, right? So we all want to know. I mean, Marcus, my bad. Tristan.
And a backstory to that, I met Sean Mike like 4 times, shook his hand like 4 times. He always told me, I'm going to remember your name next time I see you. I'm like, all right.
All right, hey, well, I'm going to remember it. Marcus, I got you. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So 100 families in a month. So that's good.
Team.
Okay, team. Okay. So for me, for you, advice that you would give to a new agent that wants to try the telesales and wants to do that, what kind of advice would you give?
I would say my biggest advice is to get in the field first. I was in the field for about 5 months before I transitioned into telesales. So I think that's crucial, getting in front of people and learning how to sell that way. And then I think the transition will be a little bit easier. Although there are people that are coming on and they're crushing it, no sales experience at all. Yeah. So take it how you want, but I would say another piece of advice would be very intentional about dialing the phones. If you're not comfortable with dialing the phones, like you said, for 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you're going to be inconsistent, then telesales probably won't be for you, because you can dial the phone all day for 8 hours a day and not make one sale, and that's typical, and it's okay. But expect to come back in the next day with the same mindset that I'm going to dial as hard as I can again for 8 to 10 hours, and you might submit 3, 4, 5, 6 applications, and you just never know. So it's a numbers game is the biggest thing, and then having proper structure. All of the scripts are pretty much structured similar. So you open up, you let them know who you are, who you represent. I like to use benefit coordinator. I'm a medical field underwriter and a benefit coordinator. And John, all that means is I have the ability to do the shopping around amongst all the insurance carriers for you. And then I let them know, so here's what we're gonna do. And be really, be the professional. So that's the biggest thing. Open up, let them know who you are. Then I like to build value after that. So I explain the programs, how they're designed. I explain the benefits that come along with them. After that, I will definitely build credibility. I'll let them know, hey, I'll collect medical information, but before I do that, I'll let you know, hey, John, everything that we talk about, all the medical information that's collected, is going to be completely confidential and protected under federal HIPAA laws. And I'm letting you know that for your personal security. We always let everyone know that protecting their personal information is going to be our top priority, okay? And then I'll go into the medical questions, run it down, and then, hey, I got a good idea who you qualify for, put them on mute, but let me go ahead and reach out to my senior field underwriter, make sure I'm putting you in the best hands possible. Put them on mute. Live dials is huge. Live training, you can't get that anywhere. It's one of the best resources that we have, in my opinion, the Zoom live dials. Then unmute. Hey, they were thinking the exact same thing I was thinking. Have you heard of the company Americo? Okay, so they're a primary A-rated carrier. They've been around for over 100 years, great track record for paying out their death benefits, and then they're really competitive across the marketplace as far as these programs go. So we'll try and get you qualified for them, and then if for some reason, they want to give you pushback, they want to rate you poorly, then we'll just pivot to the next best company. But we're going to go for the best companies first. Sound fair enough? Trial
Sounds fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah. So the nice trial closed throughout the process, setting it up, and then using the word tracks to make them feel comfortable throughout the process as well, right? Where are you, persistency for you? What does that look like?
So I have been dabbling a little bit with live transfers. Actually, me and him, I had left him on yesterday, and I was at the mall. I was getting ready to get my hair cut. I got to get fresh, but, and a live transfer came in, so I handed him the phone. I'm like, hey, man, take this live transfer. Made the sale right there. So it's like, but the most persistency, I would say, is outbound. Outbound internet leads, they're cheap, but it's going to take a lot of calling. Yes. Yeah, a lot of dialing, a lot of persistency. So just whoever dials the most wins. And I wouldn't complicate telesales. I like to look at it like this. So, let's take baseball, for instance. You're swinging the bat, swing, 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 swing. You're going to make contact. Just keep swinging. Just keep swinging. And then limit your time between the dials. Like when you hang up the phone, boom, dial again. You're ready. So. All
right. Hey, guys, this is all the time that we have. We just want to thank y'all again. Thank Paul. If you got any questions about telesales, find one of us. Ask us. We're here to help each other. Let's get it.